So where do we begin?
That's a great question.
Where do we begin? So we had our first BBW party.
No. What was the acronym? It was LABBP. LABBP.
Yeah, LABBP 2024. We had our first LABBP 2024.
We just woke up. We've showered.
Yeah.
We got some Gatorade in us.
Some water, some white bread. And I am drinking my really light coffee.
Yeah.
Barely has any coffee in it because I didn't do it right.
So it's the morning after. 12 hours ago, we were going hard in the Arts District of LA with good people. And I was so close to canceling.
Yeah.
At the in the 11th hour.
The reason we wanted to cancel was just because we were really like bummed because people who we were like really looking forward to coming, like for like various reasons, like just like couldn't make it.
Yeah.
And like we just felt, we're not like upset at them or anything. We're just like sad, because we were really looking forward to like seeing our friends and they can't make it. And now, it was sad. Sorry, I feel like I'm just going along.
No, you're fine.
And so it was sad. So we're like, it's just like we started out with like this big exciting group, and then it was just like it just kept getting smaller and smaller and smaller.
Literally within 48 hours, it dropped from 5 people dropped out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like I wasn't sure what everybody's goal was for attending this party, but we tried to make it even with like boys and girls.
Yeah.
Not for any like specific reason, because it wasn't like a sexual event or anything.
Exactly.
But I don't know. It's just like
it's important. It's important to me to get an even blend.
Yeah.
And I mean, granted, like the community itself probably has a lot more guys than women. Do I have proof of that? No, I don't. It's just a feeling that I have based on what I've seen across the community for over a decade.
And the fact that like women were showing up at all was really exciting to me, because what a scary thing. Like if I wasn't with you, I don't think I would have gone. Like,
yeah, but let me ask you this. Like, let's say you weren't with me, but it was the same people. How would you feel?
I would have still had a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because like, we paid attention to each other last night, but we weren't like glued to each other's hips.
Yeah.
Like I didn't spend the entire evening with you.
And that was important to me.
Yeah.
And
same here.
And I had so much fun.
Yeah.
And I loved those moments, like when we would check in with each other.
I loved having a conversation with somebody and then making eye contact with you.
Yeah.
Like from across the room and like smiling at you and like mouthing to you and stuff like that.
Yeah. Living
nice.
out your fantasy of like meeting, like not knowing me, but like
right before we left for the party, I'm like, do you want to pretend we don't know each other? It's not like
I'm just so bad at role play like that. So.
And I am too. It's not like I've ever done it. It's not even like a thing of mine that like I'm into. I'm not a role play person.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just think it'd be, I don't know. Like dating's fun. It'd be fun to like pretend we're dating or like I don't know. But yeah, so we were thinking about canceling, and like part of the reason why I felt really bad was one, because I was sad my friends weren't going.
Yeah.
But that's not like, to me, that's not why I wanted to cancel. I felt bad for everybody else who was going, honestly.
Yeah.
Because there was only like going to be like 4 people, not including like me and outiebyte. There was only going to be 4 people going, and it was like all guys. And it just like the party wasn't, all of a sudden it wasn't really what we planned it to be.
Not at all.
And I felt bad. And I like told you, I was like, we should just like tell them how it is and like let them make their decision on whether they want to come or not, and like no pressure if like we just want to like postpone it or something. And it still ended up happening, and I'm so glad that it did. And it was really fun. And, I think it was, we didn't need this huge group of people. We didn't need, a bunch of girls there. Like,
yeah,
I didn't feel weird because I was the only girl. I was a little nervous being the only girl. But I didn't feel weird. I felt like I was like one of the guys.
Do you feel like there was like a definitive moment or a certain point at the night when your nerves just completely melted away?
When we were sitting at the table near the skee ball.
Yeah.
Like when we're all just sitting and talking, and like that. And that was like the first thing that we did pretty much, But I felt comfortable like as soon as we met up with the first person.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was really nervous when we got there, and I told you that. As soon as we met the first person, it like went away.
Mm-hmm.
And then the anticipation of everybody else showing up was like a little nerve-wracking still, but then once everybody was there and we sat down at that table and we're all just talking and like getting along, and like none of us knew each other, but it didn't feel like that at all.
Yeah.
And then it was so fun. Such a good time.
I hope that everybody who went had a great time. It seems like they did. I was really nervous about what they would think about the event, given that like the dynamic of it kind of, it felt like it completely changed within that last,
I didn't want
like,
them to think
48
it was
hours.
lame, or like they're wasting their time by coming out.
Yeah. Because
and then I felt really bad for, everybody that came was local, but we had one guy who flew out like last minute to, he made it a priority to like come out here. And I felt like really bad for him.
Priority meaning like he bought his ticket like just a few days before at like a super high price because it was last second.
Yeah.
And while he was here, everything was falling apart.
Yeah. Because he stayed with us.
Yeah. And so he got kind of like a live inside look onto like how this party was just sort of like dynamically changing from like hour to hour. And
he didn't even seem to care. But I cared for him.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. And like it was such a downer. Like I was in such a down mood when people were dropping like flies because of canceled flights and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like I never thought that I would be the person to be like in front of this guy who just spent all that money and be like, would you be okay with me canceling? Because that's how like upset I was.
Yeah.
Like for a little bit.
It felt like you planned like a birthday party and like nobody is showing up.
It kind of felt like that.
That's how it like.
I mean,
felt
this
to
event.
me.
Even though there was like a little tagline that said like plus Outiebyte's birthday party, like I wasn't looking at this like a birthday party.
Yeah.
But you totally captured the essence of it like perfectly.
Feeling. Yeah. And I just want to make it clear, like I'm not upset at anybody for not coming. Like people wanted to come, they just like couldn't. And so how did you feel when we showed up to the brewery, like when we got dropped off and we walked inside and like I felt nervous? Like how did you feel?
I still hadn't totally wrapped my brain around how I was gonna like entertain 4 straight dudes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that I didn't know really.
It's so funny. Like I had this thought like in the morning yesterday, and I was thinking to myself, like I should have learned like a magic trick or something. And okay, anyway, continue.
I think the thing that was hardest about figuring out how to entertain these guys was just like, what the fuck am I gonna like talk about? Because I don't necessarily like want to engage with guys in that way.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't have an urge to. I feel okay like facilitating an environment where they can if they want to, but that's like not my goal. That's not what I really want to talk about. Do I really have an idea of what I want to talk about? Not really.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I was so like unsure about how this night was going to play out.
Yeah.
So we started, let's give like a rundown of like what we did at the event. Okay. So we get to LA, so we get to the Arts District and we hit up the Arts District Brewing Company.
Yeah.
And it's where we did our first meetup with Tom Lee and Button Cutie like 2 years ago for Halloween. Our first in-person anything, So it was a place where we made some good memories before. And I think picking that place again was like not just like a safe bet for us, but I think we wanted people to feel as like happy and good as we felt when we left that last one 2 years ago.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to kind of like recreate that magic.
It's
in a way.
such a perfect space to meet people.
Yeah.
You know, because it's like, it's...
You got food, drinks,
you got
games.
food, drinks. It's like, there's like, it's like chill, but there's also like a lot of people, but it doesn't feel crowded.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's like really comfortable. There's a lot of places to like sit and hang out.
Yeah. Got pool tables in the back. You got axe throwing, which you had words about.
I just think it didn't look
safe.
It didn't look safe because, and I'm not saying like axe throwing is like dangerous in general. I mean, it is, but you have it like unsupervised at a bar just in the open.
Are you just thinking someone's going to do a 180 and just throw it into the crowd?
They could, or they could mess up. I think the same thing about Topgolf. I'm like, why are there so many screens? I'm like, how much money are they spending on insurance? Like, how stupid.
That's
anyway,
so
yeah. But no, it's a fun place. I didn't even know that little area existed. I don't know how long they've had it, but they had like cornhole and pool tables.
It's
and
so funny because
I've never
I think
did an outdoor pool table before.
I think they've had it the whole time.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's just when we went 2 years ago, like
I've never gone outside.
We found a spot inside. We got comfortable and like.
And it's so funny because like I've been there for New Year's before.
Yeah.
And I sat. So right before you walk outside, there's like that row of like 2-seater like booths
on the inside.
Almost.
Yeah.
And I hung out there for New Year's. That was like where we sat. And
had no idea if there was a hustle bustle going on outside.
I didn't know you could go outside. Like I didn't know. I thought it just ended. But anyway, so we gotta stay on track. We always get off track.
I know. So no, we had a great time there. We had they had really great drinks. We had really fun conversation. And it was a really nice place to kind of feel out everybody, you know, and see the dynamic of the group and kind of predict from there how the night's going to play out.
No, I think so too. And it was a small group, and I think it was really interesting that like we were all different from each other. It wasn't, a small group of us and we were all like super similar. Like we're all like very different like personalities and stuff like that, and people and like backgrounds and stuff like that. And like, we all meshed like so well together. Yeah. You have like,
you're more quiet, reserved.
Yeah. Like I'm more quiet and reserved. And
you? Is that what you said?
Oh, I thought you were saying that about me, because that's not untrue. It depends on the environment. I'm a quiet person.
It depends on the environment, but that was not the environment. Not saying, and just for people listening, like not saying that you're some like crazy loud drunk or anything like that. No. You're absolutely not.
But I can, like in general, I consider myself like an observer, you know, like I am a quiet person. So, well, we had one guy who was, he was kind of like he wasn't really quiet. I thought he was going to be quiet.
I mean, he was initially.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that like he quickly kind of like broke out of his shell.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super nice. I'm really like, I let him know. I was like very proud that he came, I
let him know he was my favorite person because he was. I thought he was really great. He has really great hair.
Yeah.
I hope he listens to this and hears that, because I mean it. I said it to him last night.
Yeah.
He like took out his ponytail. He like had a ponytail. I'm getting a little off track now, but I'm just going to tell this like low side story.
Go for it.
We went to another like little like arcade bar thing after the brewery.
Yeah.
And
Bar 82 for anybody wondering. It's a great arcade bar.
It's a great place.
Yeah.
And a couple of guys were picking up some ladies who were not affiliated with us. And so good for them. And I do hair. This like new girl that was with us, like she's also a hairstylist. So like we were talking about each other's hair, and then the guy with the ponytail, he was like, "Do you want to see my hair?" And I was like, "Sure." And so I like help him take his like ponytail out, and he just like, it was like Rapunzel. It was like his hair just like folded out of this, like, it wasn't a ponytail, it was like a bun or something. It like, he had so much hair.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can never put your hair back in a ponytail. I was like, you look so cool.
Yeah.
And I helped him like straighten it out. Like I like combed it with my fingers and like made it look really nice.
Yeah.
And I was like, you need to like leave this. I'm like, you're doing yourself disservice. Like you look awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, he has great hair. But anyway, so yeah, we had him, and then 2 guys out of the 4 are just like social butterfly.
Yeah.
Like super talkative, really nice. One guy's like really like super like man. I don't know, like one guy is just like really like bro and like dude, you know, like he was just very like man. Not explaining that right. Just like a macho guy, just like an alpha male, like, you know, like dude, you know? Yeah, and I'm just pointing that out because I don't know too many people like that.
Sure.
You know, like where I grew up, that's how like a lot of people are, you know? But yeah, so we have like him, and then I don't know how to describe the other one. He's really tall. It was so funny. So like, I feel weird because we're not giving anybody names. So I have like ponytail guy.
Do you want to say
and macho guy? And like,
that's fine.
Okay.
I was gonna say use the first letter of their names, but honestly, just like go for it.
So when we all were together for the first time, like everybody had shown up. We were standing at the bar, like waiting for our turn to like make our drink orders.
Yeah.
I'm like not facing anybody, but I hear behind me, he's like, you're a tall motherfucker. like he was just, and he's only like 6'4", but you know, it is like, you know, tall people are always fun.
A spectacle.
Yeah, they're always a spectacle. But yeah, I just thought that was so funny. It was just so funny. Like I could still, when he asked how tall he was, like I turned around because it was the second time he's like made a comment on it, and he's just like looking up at him, like
because macho guy's about 5'9".
Yeah,
looking up at this 6'4" guy.
Yeah, but like super serious,
like chin fully up.
Yeah, but just like super serious. Yeah, no, but they're both really sweet. Yeah, and then we have the other guy. I'm trying to think of what to call him. He was really nice.
We'll call him Funko Pop.
Yeah, he was really great.
Yeah.
Like I've already told you, like I would have him over our house for like games and
for sure
stuff like that.
Yeah, he was the first one that I ever like hand delivered a mold to, which I thought was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I was like a little nervous about it at first, obviously, like just meeting people you don't know online.
Yeah.
But
as soon as I met him, I felt so comfortable with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and when we did that exchange, it felt like, of course I'll have you at the party. Like, you know, and I let him know like, hey, this is like a little idea that I have, like, you know, that I'm tinkering with. You know, I want to get like a big gathering of people together. Are you down? And he said he's totally up for it. And I was really glad that he was. I was really glad that he showed up. He feels like a very like calming presence.
Yeah.
In a way, you know,
like I was sitting next to him, and I love that I was sitting next to him.
Yeah.
Like it was, it's very soothing.
So we have tall guy, macho guy, ponytail guy, and Funko Pop.
And that's who we spent most of the evening with.
Yeah.
And then
while we're at Bar 82, how do we refer to her?
I mean, the other girl. the other woman.
Yeah.
We can call her the lady.
The lady?
Yeah.
The lady? Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
The lady. So yeah, we hadn't invited so one of the girls that we invited, she's local, but she was like on the fence about coming. Just, you know, for all the same reasons I would be.
Sure.
You know, you're like a girl meeting a bunch of guys you don't know.
Yeah.
And you know, like we spoke about, you know, we were like texting for like a couple days, like talking about like it's inherently sexual, you know, being unsure about what that's going to look like, you know, and I didn't know either, you know, I didn't know if it was just gonna be really chill or if like people are just gonna try to pick up on me all night or, you know, like, I don't know.
Yeah. Or they're just taking turns attempting the same thing.
And, you know, but she decided to come, and that was really nice.
Yeah.
And I felt like really happy that she was there. I wasn't like trying to pressure her to come or anything, but I was like letting her know that like it would be like a safe space if she did. And
Yeah.
I was texting her like throughout the event and letting her know that like this is good.
Yeah.
You know, like you can come to this.
Give it a live play by play.
Yeah. And yeah, so she showed up and it was really nice. And I loved you know, because she's a familiar presence, like we know her.
Yeah.
So it was nice like having like somebody I knew there. Like that felt really good.
That's why I really wanted her to go, because as the group started like dwindling down in numbers and the people who were going to be in attendance were basically just strangers, you know, I just really needed another familiar face there, you know, that was like really important to me. I'm glad she came through. She seemed like she had a great time.
Yeah.
I'm glad. Like I felt like I kept checking in with her throughout the night, being like, "Is this okay?
Yeah.
Are you okay?" You know.
And she seemed fine.
Yeah.
Like I didn't feel like I had to like be next to her, like I told her that I would be, and you know, like
I didn't do anything I said I would do.
we even, you know, towards the end of the night when we got pizza and me and you were running to find a bathroom, we went down a couple blocks and we just like left her.
Yeah.
And she was fine. We came back and she was just
still alive,
talking, and she looked happy. So it was fine. So yeah, I was really happy that she came.
Yeah.
It was really good.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to like text her in a little bit and let her know that like her coming meant a lot to me and like us.
Same.
Yeah.
And she made me really stop and think about what my reasons were for doing this in the first place. You know?
Yeah.
I don't think it's lost on anybody that I'm trying to like build community a bit more, like within this like fetish bubble that we're in. And I don't know what that looks like. I don't know like my blue sky ultimate dream is for all of us as a whole, other than people being more comfortable with themselves and like being comfortable in their own skin.
Yeah.
You know, so,
I thought it was cool that everybody was like showing each other like pictures of things that they like, and like showing content just like out in the open, and you know,
which I was a little nervous about.
I was super nervous.
Yeah.
Like
people needed a fucking privacy screen on their
oh my God. Because I'm still not there yet. I'm still, you know, and I think part of that is just me being like a shy private person. I'm like, oh my God, like we can't, you know. I was even telling people like, you made goodie bags for everybody. I'm telling people, I'm like, you can keep them in the tote bag. I'm like, you don't have to hold them. Like that wasn't me just trying to be considerate. It was also me being like,
put that shit
please
away.
Put it away. Like I'll make sure you get it back. Please don't carry around this bottle of baby oil.
Yeah.
Like not in this climate. It's not.
we had like 10 bottles of baby oil on the kitchen counter when we were making these goodie bags.
Oh my God. And then so before we went to Bar 82, which was the second place we went to, we just left. So when we were leaving there, we just like left the tote bag that had all the goodie bags in it.
Yeah.
And we went back inside and it was at the table that we're all sitting at. And I just think it's so funny because there's a little Trader Joe's like tote bag filled with like
belly button,
the weirdest
paraphernalia.
Things. Yeah. And the table we're sitting at is now occupied with like another like really large group.
Yeah.
And the bag was just like sitting in the middle of people. And I just like grabbed the bag. And I was like, these people had no idea what they were sitting next to. I'm surprised nobody like took it to the bar or something. I feel like if I was sitting at a table that had like a bag sitting on it, like I would, I don't know. I don't know. Like, would you move it?
I mean, it depends on where it is. Like where we left it was like on the floor.
It was on,
but it was also like, I don't know. Anybody who was playing skee ball or at the arcade games could have been, you know, the owner of that bag.
That's true. But yeah, I'm glad nobody moved it. I was afraid that like, somebody was going to like see what was inside of it.
I know.
When we first got there, the guy, because you can't bring in like food or drink. When we first got there, like the guy you show your ID to when you walk in, he asked like what was in the tote. And
I'm like, oh man, it's just some birthday goodie bags for my buddy's birthday party.
And then he was like, is there any food or drink? And then we're like, no.
I mean, the only food in there was bags of Pop Rocks.
Oh, yeah.
So
it's fine.
Little lie.
That's so funny. So we got the tote bag back. And then we went back to Bar 82, right? Did we go back?
No, that's when we went over to the pizza place.
Oh, so we went to a pizza place.
But let me before you go on to that, I want to like talk about what was in the goodie bag. And you give me your review, because like I haven't really gotten a review from you about the goodie bag.
Okay.
So in my mind, I was like, you need some type of lubricant. You need something to poke it with. You need something to leave inside it. You need something to create like different sensations. You need like a clamp. You need a suction tool. We even threw like little, when we're making molds, and I
little nubs.
yeah, and I have extra silicone because I like make a little bit too much. I just like pour a little outie nub, and there's like a pencil in there with like an eraser, like a fat eraser tip on it. Anyway, so and a candle, a low temperature wax candle. So yeah, in your opinion, what did you think of the goodie bag?
I think it's a great goodie bag.
And did you think it was odd? While I wanted to like not draw attention to our group, I didn't want people to be like afraid of asking if they could touch somebody else, like as long as it's consensual, as long as it's discreet, fine.
And like people touched me.
Yeah. So I felt like as our numbers started dwindling down and it was just mainly guys going to the party, I felt weird bringing that type of goodie bag to them, and I also didn't want like anybody who maybe doesn't actively play with anybody to feel weird about receiving play tools.
But they can also use all those things on themselves too.
Sure, but that's not always a guarantee that they like it. There are like plenty of people who like have a belly button fetish, but like do not want theirs touched. Like they don't get turned on by it,
I mean, it is like an odd thing, but you wanted to give people something.
Yeah.
And I think that was really nice.
I just wanted to leave them with something. But my question for you is like, what would you have changed about the goodie bag? Would you have removed anything? Would you have added anything?
Maybe like simplify it a little, but like everything that's in there has a purpose. And I like what you said about like something you could put in, something you can use to pull it out. And, like everything does a different thing. So you have like all bases covered. I like that.
Yeah.
I think just for me personally, like I'm not like a pop rock person, so.
And why aren't you a pop rock person?
Well, in general, I just don't really like them. But then like, I can't say that I don't like my belly button being messy because that's not true. Like
I thought you were going to go into the carbonated thing.
Oh, well, that's kind of why I don't like them in my mouth.
Yeah.
But as far as like, I've never put them in my belly button. I understand why they would feel good.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine that they would just like pop in your belly button. That would like be like really exciting.
Yeah.
And it would feel good. But I don't like to stick like food in my belly button.
Yeah.
Because I'm afraid I'll lose it. It'll like get stuck in there.
Or like as you clean it, like you're not going to get all of it.
Yeah. It's just like that being messy. But like I like it messy in other ways. Like I like when we put paint on it that one time, like that was really fun.
Yeah.
Obviously like the oils and the candles and I like all that stuff, but just not like food. So like for me, like but I don't know, like other people might like it.
Yeah.
I think it'd be interesting to get a survey from them.
That's so funny that you bring up surveys because that's something that like I thought of multiple times yesterday because there were a few people who attended who had bought some of our molds and like that was like the one big thing I was curious about. Like I would go up to them and be like, okay, so you've had it for a few months now. What do you think?
Yeah.
What would you change? What would you do differently? And then I started to think like, fuck, I need to send out a survey to ask more people these questions.
I thought it was crazy being around people that have seen our content. Like that's
now that you can look back and know that like most of them probably have seen you semi-nude.
Yeah.
Seen you doing fetish play.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
It doesn't feel bad. Like it's kind of exciting.
Yeah.
Like it's exciting. Like the macho guy, like he's seen that
some
video.
of our most explicit.
Yeah. He's seen like our videos. He has one of my molds.
Yeah.
Like that felt crazy. Like meeting somebody who like doesn't know me, but like
knows what your belly button feels like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who has like touched my belly button so many times, but has never met me or spoken to me.
Yeah.
And now he's in my home, like it's crazy. And he like touched mine
Yeah.
you know, like multiple times yesterday.
Yeah.
Just for like a second.
Yeah.
You know, but
which you already had like a bead in there.
Oh, I will say those were really fun. So those little silver beads.
Yeah.
Those were so fun.
They're like meant for like jewelry making. They're like a little stainless steel ball and with a little stainless, like a miniature, like micro, like hoop on them for a thread. And
they were fun to like stick in and try to like fish out.
There were three. Yeah. There were 3 different sizes. One that was like, I would say, there's a small, medium, large, but the small was like tiny. The small was like super tiny. Like, I don't know if we put the tiniest one in yours because.
No, we did.
Did we?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I had a hard time trying to get it out. It was too small.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was nervous about those because I know people with like a slightly deeper belly button will definitely have a hard time. That's like But that's also why we were doing it, you know?
It's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So I had one of those in, and then at some point I put a marble in there too. So I just had,
it's
like you couldn't even go deep in my belly button anymore. It's like you know, it was basically shallow at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was really fun. But yeah, I think it's exciting, like being around people who've like seen our stuff and who've seen us and like, you know.
Yeah.
Yes, that was cool. Like never thought I'd be in that situation, you know?
Yeah. Like it's not something that people can often say about themselves, that they're going to like hang around strangers who have seen like some of their most intimate, you know, or them in like very intimate and vulnerable positions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So anyway, after we go on our tote bag rescue mission, we end up at a pizza shop like a block away.
Prince Street Pizza, which is very good. It's a chain.
It's so good.
Mm-hmm.
First time I've ever been there.
I just remembered we have pizza.
We have a fuck ton of pizza.
That's what I'm eating for lunch.
Oh my God. I don't know if I can.
I can. Like when I'm hungover, all I want is like grease.
Really?
Yeah.
I just want
that pizza
like
was
white bread.
Greasy.
Like a sprout sandwich sounds great now.
Oh, we should do that.
I'm down.
Let's do that instead. Okay.
Now that everybody listening knows our lunch plans. The cool thing about going to pizza was that Ponytail Guy used to do security there.
Yeah.
The guys recognized him. We got buttloads of free pizza.
Yeah.
It was awesome.
I loved that. And then watching him like in his element.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
Like he wasn't even with us at a certain point. He was like with all his like people over there. And like I wish I could like replay that again. Like I wish I could like do the pizza place again.
Yeah.
Also, I realized this morning I was so rude. I didn't want pizza when I was in line, and I was like standing in line and taking up space for people who were in line. I felt bad about that.
I thought I ordered pizza for us. I mean, I did.
Well, I know, but like, yeah, and you were in front of me, and like I wasn't ordering, and like we all got in line, but like I felt really bad when I woke up this morning. I'm like, there could have been more people in there, but I was taking up space. It's not important,
but I felt bad.
Oh, I hope nobody was looking at me like, oh, that girl.
But Ponytail Guy really came through.
Yeah.
Like didn't need to, but did, and it was much appreciated.
Yeah.
And it was nice just being able to like chill outside on the sidewalk with like good pizza. It was still kind of lively out there, and it was a great way to end the night, honestly.
Yeah. It was really nice.
And there were so many moments throughout the night where I'm like, I cannot believe I almost canceled.
Like what fools.
Oh my God. I would have like had the biggest regrets, you know? It was so great. And I just felt good seeing people who had never engaged in this fetish, like face to face with anybody else in this way, feel comfortable and I don't know, just take that first step towards breaking out of their shell. I was really proud of everybody like who showed up, you know, it was really a good time. I couldn't stop getting that thought out of my head.
Yeah.
You know, I would just like sort of like look around at our group and I'm like, this is
so fun.
It was like a warm feeling.
Yeah.
You know?
And it felt like we knew them like forever.
Yeah.
You know, it didn't feel like we're hanging out with like new people we just met. It felt very like settled.
Yeah.
And it was a really good night.
Yeah.
You know, someone mentioned doing it like once a month or something. And like, I would try that.
Yeah. And he was saying, hey, if we do this like on a semi-regular basis, like I think we'd get more people showing up.
Well,
you know?
I will say that there's probably people who are interested in coming, but are seeing how like the first one goes.
There are actually. There are.
That makes sense.
There was a couple when I posted this on Reddit, there were a couple comments that were left. They were like, I have my reluctance about how successful this is going to be. Let's see how it plays out.
Yeah.
You know, and like, yeah, it would have been so much more exciting to have like those people there, those other like personalities to kind of like mesh into the group, you know?
But I think what we had last night was like perfect.
It was perfect. It was
wouldn't
special.
change a thing.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
And it just makes me that much more excited to do the next one.
Yeah.
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 Cheers.
Cheers.
Any final thoughts?
Just that I loved it and I can't wait to do the next one. No matter how big or small it is, it's going to be a good time.
Well said.
Because people are good people.
Good people are good people.
Good people are good people. And that's all I got to say about that.
Love you.
I love you too.